I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we are talking to a woman who has had a remarkable and storied career. Her name is Dr. Mitra Das, and she is a poet and short story writer. She is also a medical doctor and a PhD, and she excels in all arenas, and we are delighted to have the doctor join us here today on Spotlight. Good afternoon, doctor. Good to see you today.
Thank you very much for your time and welcome. And I'm so glad to meet you and talk to you.
My pleasure. Enjoying talking with you as well. You've got a phenomenal book out there. We'll start in the middle of your story. There's a lot to your life, and we're going to get to a lot of it. But let's talk first about your book, Silhouettes of Time.
Yes.
It's a very lyrical book. It's a collection of short stories. Tell me a little bit about what this book means to you and what the viewers should look for when they're reading it.
Yes, it is very close to my heart because it's all true story, and which I heard from my great-grandmother, grandmother, and my mother. And so when I was young, I used to listen to them, and it was all inside me frozen. And then I can tell you how it came out. I was very interested in music, Western classical music, though I am not a concert pianist, but I can play and a little bit. And then I was attending a master class for the music teachers and the music students who were doing that graduate study with a special permission from a professor. And he was teaching Chopin's ballad. After listening to all four ballads of Chopin, the whole class was very emotional, and there was a pin drop silence. So the professor suddenly said, "Okay, you are so overwhelmed with emotion. Go and write a story. If you have a story, write it down or make it up." So the first story came out, which I heard from my mother. My mother was with Mahatma Gandhi during the communal riot, between the Hindus and Muslims, when just before the freedom of India got the freedom. And so she was with Mahatma Gandhi on the east side of West Bengal, not west. At that time it was Bengal. It was not divided, but she went and worked with him in the peace camp. So I was hearing this story about how she was an incredible woman. She just is to carry a cyanide inside her, that so that if something happens, she wouldn't give up like that. She will just swallow it and kill herself. And she used to go door to door. The Muslims will snatch the young women to their quarters, and the Hindus also did the same thing on the other side. It was atrocities going on. So she was went door to door to find any girl who was being taken. And so this is how the story came out.
Yeah. Well, it's a wonderful story. It tells of strength during incredible hardship. And like I said, the writing is very lyrical. You can almost tell it was inspired by music. The words that you use, the way you describe things. I think that is the art of your craft, is your descriptions and your poetic writing.
Actually, the professor, the stories came out in a short form, and I was very skeptical. I said, I am auditing, and I just asked, can I do this assignment? Yes, okay. And then next day he came to the class, and he was so excited. I didn't know why he was so excited, and he was looking all my lines and sentences and things like that, looking for the musical notes and sentences. So I said, no, just leave it. I just came like, it just came like that. I said, no, I have to do that. So he was thinking how the description and also the Chopin's ballads and the music line and all this thing. I didn't understand at that time because I didn't have that so much of knowledge of the music as he had, because he was teaching the master classes and things like that. So but he was so excited, and he did that. So it was really something which I didn't expect it.
Right. But it's well deserved. I can understand why he was so enthralled by your work on this short story. And it really is a beautiful work. And I think it was such a terrific exercise as well for the professor to play music and have that touch your heart and get the words flowing, because, you need to open up that part of your soul in order to write well, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he did. He was such a good, teacher. Like, he used to play. He still is play beautiful. I mean, his touch on the piano is wonderful. I cannot. I cannot describe it. You have to hear it to understand. And then also the explanation of the musical sentences and ideas was wonderful, because I was not so much um, I was not a music student. I was just watching there, just like a fun. So I could understand, and I was so inspired with all these things.
I can see why. Now, when I'll let you to drop something, I'll let you pick that up. Okay. When was this in your schooling? Was this when you were younger? Was this more towards
No,
later in
it
life?
just before this, just 2 or 3 years before I wrote this book.
Mhm.
Is this happened? I just I learned music very late. Actually, that is also in history. My son is a musician.
Mhm.
He just graduated. He has a degree from Oberlin Conservatory, and then all those things. Is very good. So when he was young, I didn't know anything about the Western music and classical music, Western classical music, and he started 3 years old, and then I had to learn his piece. So that's the way I learned where is C, where is D, and things like that. And then when I was learning that, I just went to a teacher. They said, this is not working. I have to learn music also. So she said, okay, I'll teach you. That was the start. It was late. I mean, also, like, he was 3 or 4 years old. I was, married and all these things going on. And then I didn't have anything about classical music. And I started from there.
Amazing. And then you also took a creative writing course. I know the introduction to your book is written by one of your instructors there. Tell me a little bit about that course, and if it was helpful as a workshop type setting to help you get the thoughts out of your brain and put them onto paper.
Yes, I used to write like essays and things like that. And when you are in school, everybody writes like little bit. The teacher will give assignment to write this thing. That's all I had. And then because we left India, we just went to England and then came to United States. So the letters I used to write to the parents and all other. That's all the writing capacity I had. So one day I just was looking at the adult educations and all those around whatever it's, and I saw the creative writing. I said, what is creative writing? I don't know. I have to understand what is. I never heard the term creative writing in India or in England or whatever. So I just said, you know what, I don't know what is creative writing, but I just wanted to attend the class. So she says, come on. She's younger, actually younger than me, of course. And she said, okay, sure, I am just taking I will teach you the class, so come. So I joined. That's all.
Wonderful. And apparently it was very helpful because you've been a pretty prolific writer over the last few years.
Thank you. This is the story of each and every thing I have done so far. Also music. Also, I just took from that thing, and then I just joined the certificate of merit, starting from the very beginning, like preparatory teachers. The Music Teachers Association gives some, the kind of a test. Every year you take that 1, 2, 3 after 10, then I graduate that. So I started from the preparatory, taking the Music Teachers Association step, and then I graduated. So everything is just like that. Just like I just wanted to have the passion to do whatever, to see what it is, and I just took it and did it.
Well, obviously you're one to follow your dreams. That's kind of illustrated throughout your life. You came to the West in 1973.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that journey. I guess they used to call that era, when a lot of Indians were emigrating to the West, the brain drain, right? The highly educated were coming and that kind of thing, correct?
Yes. Interesting enough, I think you teach in State University in New York, and then my training was in a downstate medical center and Kings County Hospital, which is under the State University Hospital of New York. So that's why I started my training. And it was very different. I was trained in England, but it was not at all compared whatever I did it in England. It was completely different circumstance, different atmosphere, with the county hospital attached to it. And I never saw, I couldn't believe it, that I had this kind of big, high kind of image of United States. And then I saw this, not so fortunate people are coming, and with the bronze and all those areas, and they wanted help. Of course, it was an honor to help them, and I was so excited to treat them, learning new things, how to deal with it. But it was a completely different atmosphere. Like, it was very harsh for me when we put in that, you do, and then you have to learn there, and there's so many patients coming. I mean, all night I am working, and then it was not like we as a doctor, we work very hard everywhere, in India, in England, I heard, but it was not like in the Kings County Hospital what I saw it. But and then I just one day something happened. They told me, the director wants to see you. So I said, okay, I don't know what I did, but I just went, and I just went there. And then she said that, Dr. Das, people are complaining that you wear your sari and your own dress, from India. So I said, I didn't know that, I have to leave my clothes out, the side of the ocean to come to United States. I thought it's a free country. So she said, okay, you go, whatever you want to do it. So because other people was very actually not very satisfied that I was still wearing my sari, and then I was so proud of doing that. And then I also asked that, are we serving, are we the babysitter of this area, that the mothers leave their child here and go? They said, Dr. Das, we are all like that. We have to do it because you are doing a great job. So that inspired me. I thought, my God, she's telling all these things. It really inspired me to work more. So all these little things actually helped me.
Right. For our viewers at home, Kings County Hospital is one of the busiest hospitals in the United States. It's one of the biggest medical centers in New York City. It is overwhelmed with patients 24 hours a day. Many of them have been lacking health care for years. So when they get to the doctors at Kings County Medical Center, they're often in desperate shape. They can be gunshot wound victims, they can be car accident victims. So you were really thrown into the fire, doctor, because there is no busier hospital on earth, I don't think.
Yeah, and then one day I was very scared. A, a, a father came and said, "It's a knife like this," and I was sitting on the table. "Where is the doctor?" And then he put the. I was so scared. I said, "Okay, I will call the doctor." But anyway, anyway, I
That was
learned
smart. I'll
something.
get the doctor for you. Wait here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I now to look back, I think I am really honored to serve them because they needed help, and they were doing out of desperation because they needed help, and so I was there to just they helped the sick child, and also the parents, they were also desperate for the help, but they wanted something for them, at least some good words. I could, at that for that moment, they had some satisfaction that I'm taking care of their child, and that helped them. That also I feel that I'm honored to serve them. Really, after some time, I thought I am really honored to serve them because I could do it. I mean, just like everyday doctor coming in the office and doing, that is more than what I did, that I just could help these people. They were on the desperate help. So really, it makes me a different person, really.
Exactly. Also made you a better doctor, I'm sure, because it's like training in a war. You're dealing with so much, so many things are being thrown at you. You have such a backlog of patients that you are getting years of knowledge within months and decades of knowledge within years, I would think.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And then the director said, "Dr. Das, if you survive in Kings County, you can survive anywhere in the world." So that was really good.
I'm sure. Have you ever thought about making an autobiography and talking about your years at Kings County? I'm sure it was complete culture shock. You met with some prejudice, obviously, when people didn't like the sari you were wearing. You were thrown into this environment that was completely foreign to you. And you do have some amazing stories, like the man who came in with the knife. I think
Yeah.
you got another book in the making there, doctor.
Yeah, and actually, on the other side, there are the nurses, and then the patients, they came and hugged me and cried, all those, that also I got it from them. And then one it was so interesting, so sweet. Actually, she came with the $10, like a bill, said, "I cannot do anything, but can you buy something for you?" I said, "No, you take it, I will buy it." And whatever you hugged me, you were so satisfied. That is all the gift you gave me. I'll treasure it. So I mean, all these little things. I just remember they have their heart, but they were so much overwhelmed with all this thing. They cannot. Whatever they could do, they did it.
Amazing, amazing. How long did you wind up staying at Kings County?
At least 2 years for
2 years, a long 2 years, I'm sure. And then did you embark upon your PhD?
No, I did. Yeah. Actually, I started the PhD before, and then after that, Kings County, I finished the PhD. Yes.
I
Yes.
see. And you went to California after that?
Yeah, to University of Los Angeles.
Right.
Yeah.
And
So
that probably was a little more sane than the
that,
situation.
just the opposite, actually. I mean, a beautiful hospital, everything, this thing, big hospital, everybody is so so it's just amazing. I mean, a very, very different kind of situation. And then also in UCLA, I just exposed to, there are apart from the medical center, I used to run to, there is concerts going on, there is this the theater of arts, and all these people, they're all so knowledge people. They are giving the lectures. I used to I was to get crazy. I will even I was working hard at the night, I will take some class and the drama and things like that. So it was really so interesting. I just wanted to grasp everything, like, I don't know what to do and what not to do. So I met so many people there, which I never dreamed of that I would meet. Like I met somebody in the theater of arts, Dr. Melanese, who was a bit Bertolt Brecht. And I just took his class, and it was so wonderful. And as to hear the stories from him, the Germany at that time, how he fled from Germany with just a briefcase and things like that. And then also he taught us Bertolt Brecht. So it's amazing. I mean, I'm so lucky. I think I got all this.
Absolutely. And also being out in Los Angeles, you were kind of surrounded in an arts culture. And
Yeah.
apparently that was appealing to you, from music to drama to writing. So it was tapping other parts of your brain that weren't quite being utilized as much being a medical doctor, right?
No, yeah. Actually, he is to, Professor Melanis is to give, some work to do on the class and things like that. And he said, you know what, I wanted to know if you can write in English like this, why don't you, how you will write in your own language? I said, that's a shame. I don't write in my own language anymore.
That is funny. But your book is available in both English and French. I thought that was pretty remarkable. Tell me why you decided to publish it in the French language as well.
Actually, Maple Lip Publication, and they were very nice to me. And then they told me that so many people in Canada, they speak in French. So I said, well, I said, can it? So I thought, I had that feeling that they would very much like to read it in French than in English, because most probably they're forcing themselves to read in English, but they will enjoy more and feel more about my, the book, because this is the history and how the real story, and they could feel about my family, how they suffered and all. So I thought that, I asked them, is it possible? So they said, oh, no problem. We can do that. We have some people.
Wonderful. And I'm sure that made your lyrical writing even more lyrical, because the
Yeah,
spoken language of France
it's so
is
sweet.
beautiful. Yeah,
So sweet.
absolutely. Thank you. Tell me about some of the other stories within Silhouettes of Time. What's your favorite?
Oh, my favorite is my great grandmother. My favorite is my great grandmother who led the procession. She was an incredible lady. She, at that her time, there was this thing going on in India, that the clothes from Manchester Mill will come and flood the Indian market. And the weavers of Indian weavers, their thumb has been amputated so that they cannot, weave their clothes. And so my great grandma thought that this is not, I cannot tolerate just sitting at home being she was the wife of a judge, and I cannot take it anymore. So she organized all the ladies, and then she said that we will march at the town square, and in protest we burn all the clothes from the Manchester Mill. So she just gathered all the women, and gathered all the all the those clothes, and they went in the town square and started burning the clothes. And then the British police came, with the mounted police came and dispersed them within, the baton, and they were dispersed and they were being hurt, but they still did, they kept on going and said, free India, leave our country, and Bande Mataram, that is means, our mother India, so they started, they're bleeding, their hands are fractured with their, with the police lathi charge and things like that, but they still kept on, shouting the slogan, please leave India, we want the, free India. So I think she's a great woman.
I think there's a lot of great women in your family. Your mother is a very strong woman. Your grandmother was a strong woman, and you're a strong woman. So I guess that kind of runs in the genes, right?
Thank you very much. Oh, most probably, I don't know.
And you're a humble woman as well. Let's talk about your book of poetry. It's called Rhythms Primeval. Tell me a little bit about the inspiration behind those poems. They seem to deal with many different aspects of life.
Yes, that is another story. I was attending an opera class, and Dr. Jerry Ball, who's is he's, I don't know how to describe. He's a dramatist. He was opera singer. He's a poet. He's a writer. He knew so many languages and things like that. And he was very renowned haiku master, Dr. Jerry Ball, and he was teaching opera. So I just went and sitting at the back, and then one day after the class, he came. He said, "Listen, I am going to teach poetry, and you come. Yeah, in the adult education, I'll teach poetry." So I said, "Okay. So what I have to do in the poetry class? Read poetry?" And so no, not read only poetry. You have to write poetry. I said, "Oh no, I cannot write poetry. I didn't write poetry. Wrote poetry long time ago in just but been forced on me by my school teacher. I cannot do it." So not only you have to write poetry, you have to write and share with your classmate. I said, "Are you kidding? No, I don't want to go then." "No, you should come." And then he made me, said, "Oh, you come and then we will see. And then I will guide you." That's the start of my poetry class. And then
Wonderful.
when I went there, I just realized this is a different world. And Dr. Jerry Ball made it a different world for me. And then that's what I started writing poetry.
Tell me about some of the poems that you wrote, and or let the audience know about the poems that you wrote, and how they affected you, how you think they'll affect them.
I think so, because I can read some of them if you want to.
Sure.
Okay, so I can read one or two of the haikus, or one little bit longer, but the longer poem it will take. Okay, I will read some haikus first.
Okay, great. And for our folks at home, the name of the book is called Rhythms Primeval.
Yes,
it's available at mayamitra.com. It's also on Amazon.com as well. You can download it for Kindle, or you can buy the book, which is probably the best thing to do.
And also in my website also.
Yep, your website is mayamitra.com. That's probably the best place to go. You can order the book directly there, and you can also learn more about Dr. Das. So we'd love to hear your poem.
Okay. 1,000 diamonds, raindrops on oak leaves in the blaze of wintry sun. 1,000 diamonds, raindrops on oak leaves in the haze of wintry sun. Through the quiet, the rocky river comes closer with rounded softness. Through the quiet, the rocky river comes closer with rounded softness. Autumn afternoon, misty light slants through the trees. Sudden thunder breaks the peace. So these are the haikus, and maybe I'll read one of the.
That's beautiful. So that's a good daily reflection at when you want to contemplate nature a little bit.
Yeah, and this one is also my favorite, the harvest moon. Now the harvest moon is just over here. Just the full moon was just a few days ago.
Yeah, it was just the moon festival, right?
Yeah. So this is, okay. The harvest moon. Summer was shy to say goodbye. The harvest moon was up, filling the sky. The trees swayed in gentle breeze, murmured their songs to a misty dream. The moon, like a baked round loaf, peeped through the drifting clouds. Over moon-struck land, along the hoots of the owl, I traveled back in time to a faraway place, landing on moon-brushed house in an old, familiar courtyard. Yes, here, under the harvest moon. I played and danced, and I danced and played with my loving grandmother all the way until dawn.
Beautiful, beautiful. That sounds like it might have been inspired by a dream or something, dreaming of your grandmother.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah, because I often have dreams like that of my parents are gone. And you sometimes get this connection in your dreams. You'll have like a wonderful experience with them, such as dancing under the moonlight. I think you've really kind of captured that feeling there. It's wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Is that one your favorite?
Yeah, my favorite. And
Yeah.
another one was, I said, long poem. It is same with the great grandmother. I just, how she went and burned the clothes of the British in the town square and things like that. Yeah, this one and great grandmother. Great grandmother was the person who just burned the clothes in the town square at the Manchester Mill.
Amazing, amazing. I can see why your work has been recognized by a lot of people. Your short fiction has been included in an anthology called Tremors, and that's a collection of writings by people in California. Tell me a little bit about your work that is seen in Tremors.
Actually, this we had the class, writing class, writing. We used to write every day and also homework and things. So one day suddenly we had that idea that why don't we get all our little stories together and then just publish it. Actually, our teacher Janice De Jesus, she was the one who inspired. Let's do an anthology. So she was the person who just inspired us. And so we were thinking we will just, somebody said, oh, we'll publish in some magazine or so. No, we will do this like anthology. So that's what it started actually. And she edited all of the stories, and all of us were very, very inspired that she was telling, and it was very nice feeling that we just came together and we did the anthology.
Wonderful, wonderful. And another anthology that your work is included in is called Insight, Hindsight, and Flights of Fancy. Tell us about that.
That also with these people, in that story, I have suddenly I had an idea that I will talk to poet Shelley. Suddenly at night, I was just writing something at night, and then it had an idea. What about that I should talk to poet Shelley? And just like in my imagination, of course,
Wonderful.
So, but and then there's a plant, and it just moved with something little bit, and then oh yeah, well, I'll say that most probably he is here, and I will start talking with him, and that's what it started.
Amazing. It's a very unique perspective and a very creative idea. I'm sure it's a lovely piece. Are you working on anything right now? Are you doing some writing right now?
Yes. It's a novel, and I hope to finish it before Christmas. And it's another very exciting thing for me. Actually, I hope it should be to the readers also. It is about a character who took it from 14th to 15th century artist from Florence, a sculptor. Is not Michelangelo, because Michelangelo everybody knows, and so many books have been done, but it's a different one. And then another person who is my dear friend, he came from very unfortunate circumstances, like he couldn't even have two meals a day, and he was very poor and couldn't go to school, and then he struggled, became a doctor, and now he's a very famous neurosurgeon, and he got a British, Queen Elizabeth gave him the Order of British Empire. He is a very renowned neurosurgeon all over the world knows. Neurosurgical Society knows about his name, that how good he is. He saved so many people's life. Not only saved, but there used to be some surgery where the people will get better for the timing, but there will be some paralysis or something about that. But with this surgery, this goes completely normal person walking like that. So this person, his art, like a sculptor who is doing his art, and this person who is a different kind of art, which is not art what you mean, but it is in medicine, but it is also art, because how he did the surgery is an art, I think, in a different subject actually. So I'm just here doing this, almost done at almost at the end, and I hope to finish it before
That sounds
Christmas.
wonderful. Now, this will be a novelized account of the doctor's life?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I can tell you the title, Echoes of the Past.
Nice. I like that. Sounds great. And I think your audience will like that as well. It sounds like a wonderful book. You'll complete it by Christmas, and hopefully it'll start being distributed by winter or spring, I guess, right?
Yes, sure. I
That
hope.
sounds wonderful. Before we go, tell me a little bit about your family. I know you mentioned one son was a musician. Is he a professional musician? Tell me a little bit
Yes.
about that.
Oh, he was very good in music from when started him at 3 years old, and he was very good in music, and then he's very good in writing and also other arts, because he paints and things like that, but music is focus. And also he over in conservatory sent him to France to study something, we didn't. So he did that, and then also in the CalArts he did the postgraduate. He just makes music, and he's independent and doing still music, and that's all.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Do you get to see him perform?
Oh, when he was young, actually now he doesn't want me to go all the way, but when he was young, everywhere, he just played so many places. He used to be his instrument thing was, he can play all the instruments, so many musical instruments, but piano was his main thing, and so he got so many awards on piano, and on music teachers conferences, and people will ask him to play in different concerts and things like that. And then, but he can play any, even he can play some Indian instrument like tabla and the string instrument. He took some lessons from Ali Akbar Khan. I don't know whether you know him. He's no more, but was a very, very famous Indian sitarist. So like that, yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, it's a talented family, no doubt. He's got a talented mom. Like I said, Dr. Maya Mitra Das is a poet and a short story writer. She's a medical doctor and she has a PhD. Most people would be lucky to claim one of those titles. She claims all four of them, and I'm sure there are even more we could mention as well. The names of her books are Silhouettes of Time. It is a collection of short stories. It is available in English. It is also available in French. She has another collection of beautiful poems that will inspire you and will be appropriate for different times and different aspects and different occasions in your life. It is called Rhythms Primeval, and I recommend them both. You can get them on her website. It's mayamitra.com. It's right there on on our screen right now. So you can look up the doctor, you can look at her works, you can read more about her and her fantastic life. Dr. Das, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you very much. I'm so glad that you could give me some time and can talk to you.
It was a true pleasure. I truly enjoyed it. And to the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford. thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.